Okay,
See the tree.
so the page that we
I have a
have
couple more.
is
Trees are already dead.
Matt's compilation of the results that people, the suggestions that people had for signs 5 and 6, which were the ones we were stuck on last time.
Thanks.
So for sign 5, which is the one that would be application
Just before College Ave.
just before College Avenue. A question, I know we are limited to 3 items per sign. What I'm wondering is if we can have Historic and Hancock School with sub items as one of those and then 2 other things, or if we can. Okay,
No, you can't.
no, we can't.
No, you
Oh,
can't. It would have to be 3 distinct items. So the top border there would be on all signs. And then you have 1, 2, 3 items. How many characters? I don't think they're going to give me 3 lines per item, but I think I can get 2. So if we go 2 lines per item, we can get 3 items.
Is the font size locked in?
Yeah, there's a VDOT rule for reflectiveness and size. That's based on speed limit and other such things.
Okay, so sorry, Matt, I don't think I completely grasped what you just said. Can you go?
Sure. If you look at the sample sign, it says historic downtown waterfront and artisan studios and shops. That would be the 3. We cut it off there. If the top said historic and Hancock School, and then the next one said artisan studios and shops, and then the next one said playground and nature trails, the only feedback or question I had was you had on the second one, first number 6, so I'm going to jump ahead because I really like this idea that you had. It says downtown. Well, we've got 12 other signs. So do we want to lead with where you're going on each one? Like up at the northeast section,
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be something up there that said downtown harbor.
right? Can you make sure you push your green button here?
The green.
Bridget. Ding.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did a little research on this after the last meeting, and I sent over you a very long PDF, which I read twice. But there's basically 3 types of signs. There's gateway signs where you first come into town, destination signs, and then informational signs for wayfinding. That's basically the hierarchy. So, the gateway is covered by the big sign coming into town, but then you have destinations. And I think we talked about having something that pointed maybe before you get to Hill Street that says downtown, harbor, I don't know what else.
The way that the design for town plan was created was just like you said, we have a gateway sign and that's been designed. And then we have wayfinding signs, which are informational. And then the destination signs are very similar to the ones that are near the gas pump at the wharf, where it has, a history, a story, or something like that. So that's what they're calling destination signs. And then the other one that I couldn't figure out was like dog park, Northeast Park, and that's what I would call a destination sign.
Well, this is a destination showing how to get to downtown and the waterfront, the harbor. And then, but within each sign, there can be a hierarchy where the top sign is the main destination, like downtown, and I think I suggested today, shops and restaurants, visitors center, restrooms.
Yeah, galleries wasn't, so I
Right.
want to make sure that it was,
So it's a shop, right? Gallery and shop.
it's,
If there's room, it's great. So,
well, pretty much most downtowns have shops. You know, that's a given. A lot of downtowns don't have galleries. And, you know, I think that Onancock wants to, you know, make people aware of the artisans at the school and also downtown, that's kind of the calling card that's very unique about Onancock, the amount of galleries in art and culture, the theater, the movies, you know, along with the dining and the shops. There are more galleries than there are actual retail shops downtown right now. There's 9 galleries.
okay, well, you
So
know,
you're on.
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
Are we talking about number 5 right now?
Let's
We're
start
talking
with
about
5.
number 5?
Let's start with 5. Okay.
And, you know, looking at, Google Earth, you know, historic and Hancock School is on the map. And one of the things in this guidance I read was you should be coordinating your signs with your websites, with your maps, with your brochures. They should all be consistent. They should all. So
That makes
if
sense.
historic and Hancock School is the main destination with other things there, then I would put that at the top. Just like downtown is the main destination, just like the harbor is the main destination. And if there's room for historic Hancock School, that's great. I just put a Hancock School because I didn't think there was a room.
Mhm.
But those are my suggestions. And I think it really depends on the sign, you know, it's hard to, without knowing how much you can really fit on there. You could certainly put playground/trail on there. Artisan studios and shops. And, you know,
Yeah, I would think we could get 2 lines per per
okay,
section.
yeah.
Knowing the font or the letter count, can you get historic Hancock School on the top?
I'm,
So it's gonna say historic downtown and then historic
no,
Onancock School?
no.
That's just a
Yeah.
mock-up.
That's just a
Right,
sample.
but historic downtown was from Main Street because their purpose is to, you know, bring viability to historic downtowns. So that's why that's there.
So Matt, if there's only 3, signs or smaller,
Hmm.
is the whole thing gonna be smaller or is it gonna be bigger with 3 sub panels?
Well, it's got the only thing they've got for me as far as guidance is that it has to be 7 feet off the ground and it has to have a breakaway hole. They didn't tell me how high it could be. They only told me how many attractions I can have on it.
Right.
So I would think for readability, we wouldn't want more than 2 lines.
Yeah, no, on each sub panel.
So either an Hancock is gonna have to be hyphenated. Historic Onancock School,
Hmm.
which is not lovely. In order to fit all 3 words.
Let me learn about that if we can fit it.
The other thing I've noticed driving around is the arrow should be on the side of the sign.
Yes.
Yeah, that's VDOT. That sign is wrong.
Yeah, it's a great example, but not perfect.
So it's at the top, it's gonna say historic Onancock School, right?
And then and then artisan studios and galleries, again, we've got 3 words with some,
All right, I
It
think
would
galleries
actually
would
be-
fit.
If
Say
it's
galleries. So
Okay.
what Karen's suggestion was good, because there are shops there,
okay?
right?
There are, yes, there's several that are
Okay.
retail out of it. So if it said artist studios and shops, you would drop the redundancy of galleries and you would include the existing retail
Okay,
merchants that are there. And then if you led with, it's just a prettier word. Actually, Joni didn't mind leading with playground. My own preference was nature trail sounds pretty. It sounds nice.
It does.
But either one of, like one in front of the other, and my request would be rather than a slash, you'd have an ampersand in between whatever words you've got there.
Can you fit nature trail and playground on one together?
It's the same,
You could if it were two lines, I think.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be nice, because the nature trail is amazing. I've
It
never walked it before. It's really lovely.
Yes.
So that's number 6. I mean, number 5, sorry. And then,
So can I just verify?
Yeah.
It's gonna be artist studios
and shops,
with an ampersand.
okay?
And the nature trail would understand was the
Artisan,
playground,
artisan.
right?
There's a lot of painters there, which would indicate artist and artisan to the general public. They wouldn't understand necessarily the difference between the two, so I think artist works.
Shorter word too.
And then third was going to be nature trail and playground. With an ampersand. That was easy.
Yeah, I think it can be busy.
So and then for 6,
So when you get to 6, is it still the state historic downtown because you're there? So, right?
It's pointing to downtown.
Yeah, you're gonna be just past college.
So you still want to keep going, people?
Yeah.
Historic downtown.
Like just
So-
past Car Place.
Yeah, kind of, or just this side of it, but right in that general area.
Right under that, I think if it said galleries and shops. And then, I think at the other meeting, we were thinking like this, there'd be signs directed to the farmer's market, right by the movie theater. So people can find it. Well, of course, it's gonna move, right?
Yeah, it is. And also, I think it's important that people know where the public restrooms are. So having welcome center and restrooms, I think is important. If I have kids in the car especially. Yeah, I would put historic downtown and galleries and shops, then,
You put
Then-
that up by- down right by it, or we're gonna put a second sign pointing
well,
to it
when they get to it, there'll be signs on it
that say.
that say,
galleries and all.
we're here, you
Okay.
found it,
Okay,
is,
yeah,
Right.
the map, I didn't bring it this time with the general locations of where the signs would be.
Did you want to look at this?
but I think it is good that the visitors, thank you, that is good that it would say visitor center there, because that's, we really want people to go to the visitor center.
And they want to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
If they go into the shopper gallery.
Here's a question, do you think that people understand that if there's a visitor center, I would think there would be bathrooms there?
I
So
would
maybe,
think so.
do we need to put bathrooms on the sign? Because that's kind of like, I don't know, it's not that lovely.
Yeah, as far as that's concerned, the project is called a welcome center. And that went through some conversation. Yeah, so I'd still like to keep it as welcome center.
It would kind of indicate to me as a mom that there's probably a loo in there. Unless you think it's important to point that out. Because maybe it is.
do we remember what was on sign 7?
parking, well, your original draft says parking, welcome center,
And
restrooms.
public bathroom.
That's why I was wondering is if it's taken care of on sign 7, then obviously we don't need to put it on sign 6. Nobody's got to go that bad.
So.
Okay.
So let's see. It will say historic downtown and then galleries and shops. And and then Welcome Center where it says Artisan Studios and Shops on that sign. And then there's one more space.
No, there's not one more space. That, the two ways in which that sign is not out of compliance with VDOT rules are the one Jim just said, which is the direction of the arrows, and that it has 4 things and we're limited to 3.
I didn't get that. Thank you for explaining that. Very good. Okay, gotcha.
So it's
Got it.
close but no cigar as far as
You know,
giving us an idea, but not exact.
it's gonna be nicer with just 3. So I think that's fine. You know, people don't need to be too inundated. I think that's perfect.
Would it help anything to have Welcome Center and restaurants or get restaurants in there somehow?
Restaurants are on.
Yeah, restaurants and lodging, I think, got tied together.
Well, and there's restaurants.
Oh, 8,
There's restaurants sprinkled throughout
yeah,
Hancock, all over the place.
yeah, all the
That's
way
true.
from uptown, all the way to the wharf.
Okay,
This,
are we there?
Are we there?
Seems like.
Are we there yet at the destination? Have we found our way?
Welcome Center and what?
No, I said, are we there yet? Have we found our way?
yeah, I think we just leave Welcome Center as a standalone.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's.
We'll assume restroom.
Simple.
Have a sign that's public restrooms.
Yeah, we might throw one up.
That's pretty.
I think that's great, right?
And you've got your minutes for
And I've got
1
them.
through 14 and now
Yes.
5 and 6.
I will, I apologize for not having gotten that written up after the last time. I will incorporate this and.
That would be
add
super
those
helpful
things
because I can
and
send them to the,
everybody.
I can send them to the sign people to get a quote.
Great.